Ladies and gentlemen, this is the video you've all been waiting for. At least, I know some of you have anyway. So let me give you a background about this video idea I came up with. And it took me a while to work on it because I've had a lot of reading to do for it. It basically all started with this book right here. Yes. New Kids on the Block, Five Brothers and a Million Sisters, the authorized biography by Nikki Van Noy, who happens to be a freelance writer. And I gotta tell you guys right away, I highly recommend this book. Chock full of some background and very candid and honest discussions in here. Now, from reading this, I decided, you know what? It would be really cool to look at some of the books that I had when I was younger and as a fan, and if my perspective has shifted or how to it's come to something like this. Now, I only have a few here with me, and I'd love to review more, so if you guys are interested after this video, I can give you a holler about that. But yeah, I have several books here that I started to look through and read. And pretty interesting stuff. Let's start out, and I'm not sure where I want to start out with here. I think the best thing to start out with is this one. This was the authorized biography, Our Story, that was done by the guys. Published, I believe, in, let me check here. This was published in 1990. In fact, a lot of the books about New Kids on the Block were published in 89, 90, at the height of when they really just start taking off. Has lots of pictures, lots of good stuff, and basically it's a basic background story, a real easy read. But this was really one of the official ones. In fact, on Oprah, I have some old footage actually of Oprah actually interviewing their moms because they were part of this too. And there's really no qualms about this one. It basically sticks true. You get talking about some of the behind-the-scenes people and just a neat little, just a neat little book. I kind of like this one of some of my older stuff. However, yes, there were some other books about New Kids on the Block that just came out of nowhere. For example, by the same company, but two different books were these ones. Okay? This one in particular is pretty funny because at the back they kind of give you, stats about the guys, the NKOTB quiz, and I was just like finding things in here, and I don't know why I would underline certain facts about the guys too. And this is very, very young adult-esque, if you will. This one here, the John and Jordan one, same thing, written by pretty much by the same author. And I gotta tell you something in regards to John and Jordan, especially to Jonathan. We all know that he's gay. He came out. But when you're reading this, it's like they're really trying to push he's the shy guy who's shy around girls or he's shy on stage. But get him backstage and he's the or he's the fashionista or things like that. It's really funny how his sexuality was kind of hidden, even though if you read up or you've seen latest interviews, everybody kind of knew. So it's just funny how he's been pigeonholed into this shy guy thing, and yet a lot of us fell for it because, hey, I'm a Jonathan Knight fan, and I've always connected with him because he is genuinely shy. But he's also very unique, and that's also the other reason why I like him. But as an insight I've gained from these books. Now, next one is kind of a funny one. The Lives and Loves of New Kids on the Block. With a bonus photo album, but I always rip those suckers out and post it on my wall like anybody else has. The way this one is written, it's basically as if you took a group of guys and you created your own autobiography / fan story / if you wanted to date the New Kids on the Block, this is what you have to know type of handbook. And I'm serious about this. And it's funny, some of the things that you would hear, some of the rumors that a lot of them they got wrong in this one, which I thought was pretty hilarious. And things that kept popping up, not only with this book, but other books, was a movie. And you hear them in interviews. I've seen old interviews. They say, well, what about this movie? What about this movie? The cartoon show came to fruition. A couple other things came to fruition. But yeah, what about that movie? I wonder if the movie's going to be now the DVD, but this is like the feature-length film based on their lives. I think they deserve a really good documentary, like a rock and roll documentary. That's what I think they deserve, not some kind of flippin' movie. But it was funny how that was one of the big dreams back then. But what I've also noticed, too, is within these books, the other things that kept cropping up are basically some of the focuses that the guys have had and have done. For example, Donnie being the producer. Well, he's become an actor now, so I don't know if that was in the cards or not. Joey, of course, staying in show business with him releasing albums, and now I've heard he wants to go to Broadway. Then you have Danny, who's, the exercise nut, the health guru. But I think he's inspired the other guys now to do that, which is pretty cool. So he's stuck with that. Jordan, he's stuck with show business. He's stuck to the producing thing, so that didn't really change. Jonathan is kind of an interesting one, because at first it was like, you would be like, I kind of want to go to the show business, or I want to do the behind the scenes, but then later on you go into the step-by-step days, and it's like, oh yeah, I like all the behind the scenes stuff, and now look what he's done. He's got his own company, he's gone into real estate, he's kind of got into the construction thing, so that was starting to be discussed. Anyway, next book is this one. You see this picture right here? That's one of all the pictures I've ever had of New Kids on the Block. This was always my favorite. And it's another one where you're meeting the guys, what they like, what they don't like. Their discography, and this was like a lot of these are up to the step-by-step days. So I wish there was things after step-by-step. But what I love are the vital statistics. I often wonder. I would always love to do, or love to see like an interview or a video with the guys, and ask some of these questions to see, is it the same, or have their likes changed, or was it one of those things that they just said stuff just to be printed out? Now, from what I've read in this one, because this one really gives you all the true facts. It seems like there were times that they would just say things, just to see what people would print, or their taste would change or something each day. But surprisingly, with the older books that I've looked at, they've always been kind of consistent, which I think was pretty interesting. It's almost like the whole pre-freelancing days before you had the technology, where everybody just sort of copied off each other and there was no copyright infringement. I don't know. Finally, the last book that I have in my little New Kids on the Block book collection is this one. Now, this one's kind of a cheesy one, and I'll tell you why. I found a couple of neat little categories here that just crack me up. I'll give you the date of this, just to kind of mark it here. 1991. Okay, so like 89, 91 is where a lot of these books came from. I have to see, there's a good one in here. Oh, when you come to X in this one, that cracks me up. When you come to X, where is it? Actually, there is no X. They go to WXY. There's no X, actually. That's what's funny. Like, wait a minute, where is that? Z is kind of funny, too. What was the one? Zodiac signs, yeah. Zest, yeah. Zero. Zealous. Zenith. Yeah. That's not bad. There's Z words. But it's almost like they had to think of words, just to post in the book. But yeah, there's no X. A to Z, but no X. But anyway, yeah, these are the books, and I went through and looked through them, and overall, I found them amusing. I found myself cracking up a lot of times, especially with the statistics on Jonathan in these older books. But I gotta tell you, reading this one here, going back to this, which was published in 2012, by the way. I kind of appreciate the guys a little bit more, especially now that they're older. They had a chance to take a break. And it's funny, the stories that they have about their early days and some of the things they went through. And surprisingly, the early books are kind of consistent with that. And I know there was another book that I had way back, and I don't remember what I did with it. I think I got rid of it for some reason, and I don't remember why. But anyway, um, as far as the early day stuff, all those books are pretty much consistent with that. Once you get into sort of the step-by-step days, it's a little cloudy because that's where the guys were really going places. But anyway, I finally got this project done. I do have another video in this section here, because it will be in my NKOTB fan section, playlist basically, that I'd like to do, and that'll be something for another video in the series. But you guys got it? You asked for it? If you want me to review a book that you have that I don't have, send me a PM or a private message and let me know. Send me your address or whatever, because I would love to do one for you and give you my take on it, because I think this is fun to do. If you have any of these books in your possession and you haven't read them in a while, take a look at them. You might find yourself cracking up. You might find yourself saying, is this really a biography or did I get stooped? Because you will do that. I know, like, with this one here, my conclusion was, it's a handbook on how to date the guys. I mean, because I remember as a kid, I just liked getting all stuff because it had new kids on it. I mean, that's how us fans were, right? Anyway, this is Angelwriter Sue, whatever you want to call me, signing off and saying, remember to live the creative life, put creativity into everything, and in the words of New Kids on the Block, hang tough.